Warning! This moveset may contain major spoilers from the game Omori, or even Basil himself. If you don't enjoy this, turn back now. All viewers have been warned and advised. The kind-hearted child from the hit RPG indie game Basil. The boy who likes books, gardening, and taking photos of people and things. Really? He's just a shy and kind normal little boy who ended up starting to suffer from guilt after his own best friend, sister, died because he pushed her off the stairs. But it wasn't until then he didn't take this very well, and he felt guilty for some reason, and ended up being haunted by something who has been causing that guilt. But I can't really explain any more of that until going on to the moveset. This is your last warning. If you haven't played the game or do not want to be spoiled by anything, turn back now. But we do have our usual promotional quote that's not actually usual because we never actually done it before. Anyways, now from our sponsors. This is what our sponsor Jonathan McCoy said. When did stairs become so dangerous? That's it. Alright, getting into the moveset now. Things we need to know. Basil will be very light and he will have only 2 jumps. He will have no additional move options. Yep, that's right. We have a few gimmicks for this character. Nah, really just one. Anyways, here's a quick question for you Mori fans. What is the most important thing while battling in Mori? Juice! Juice! That's my juice! It's juice! 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 Wrong. Emotions. Emotions really important in the game, and here's why. Because each emotion has their own thing for each character. It can affect their stats in a different way. Now, in Smash, it will work very similar. And if you're a fan of this channel, you might have seen this gimmick before. Probably in What If Omori was in Smash. Definitely not any promotional thing at all. Nope. Anyways, let's get into the gimmicks now. Anyways, the first emotion would be neutral. Basil will always start out feeling neutral, and there is also no effects to this state. The effects will actually reset to the state if you have any other emotions and you got knocked out. Neutral is pretty simple. But what about the other emotions? Well, I'll get to that. The second emotion is happy. When Basil happens to create a multi-hitting combo without or only a little bit of damage dealt to Basil, Basil would feel happy. This will have his speed go up 10%, while his attack will decrease 10%. The second phase of happy is ecstatic. Ecstatic is the second phase of happy, like I said. He will feel ecstatic when his combo continues or he ends up knocking someone out. His speed will increase by 20%, while his attack will decrease by 20%. Our next emotion is manic. Manic is the third phase of happy. He would feel a manic when his combo continues or he ends up knocking someone out without or slightly being damaged. His speed would increase by 30%, while his attack will decrease by 30%. Now for our next emotion would be sad. Basil would start to feel sad when he is being comboed by another foe. His speed would decrease by 20%, while his defense would increase by 25%. Another variant of this emotion is depressed. Depressed is a second phase of sad. If the foe continues to be comboed, if Basil continues to be comboed, he will start to feel depressed. His speed would decrease by 35%, while his defense would increase by 35%. And the last variant of this move is miserable. Miserable is the third phase of sad. If the foe continues to combo Basil and it reaches high amount of damage, he will start to feel miserable. His speed would decrease by 50%, while his defense would increase by 50%. That took a lot out of me, okay? Okay? Anyways, for our final emotion would be angry. Basil will start to feel angry if the foe and Basil himself are damaged at high-ish rates. Let's say about 60%. His defense would decrease by 50%, while his attack will increase by 30%. Our next variant of this emotion would be enraged. Enraged is the second phase of angry. Basil would start to feel enraged if the foe and Basil himself are damaged at high rates. Let's say about 80% damage. The defense will drop by negative 60%, and the attack would increase by 50%. The final variant of this emotion, is furious. Furious is the final phase of angry. Basil will start to feel furious if the foe and Basil himself are damaged at high rates. Let's say, I'm sorry, this is false. Let's say about 100% or over. The defense will drop by 75%, while the attack will increase by 75%. Now, one more thing. You might have noticed that. Oh, my bad. There's a quick summary to this. I lied. I'm bad. Anyways, if you still don't really understand what's going on, I will explain. Biz will always start out with neutral, and when KO'd, he will return to neutral. There are also countering emotions. I'm sorry, you can counter each emotion. As if you're stuck on an emotion and you want to no longer feel that way, there is some ways to get out of that emotion. Anyways, for the happy phases, when Basil starts to stop attacking the foe, Basil will return to neutral. Now, for the sad phases, when Basil starts to no longer become comboed, he will also return to neutral. And for the angry phases, when Basil and his foe are no longer near the same damage, Basil will return to neutral. Also, if there are multiple players playing, this will come into effect when the last foe, he or the player attacked, and are at the same rate of high damage. That effect will come into effect. Also, once a phase has been countered, it takes 15 seconds to decrease a phase fully. So if you're at a higher phase of something, it will slowly decrease back to neutral. Let's say if you're at phase 3, it'll take a max of 45 seconds. Hope you get the point of that, because we're moving on now. Now, one more thing. You might have known that there is another emotion in the game known as afraid. Now, back in the Amori moveset, someone actually suggested an emotion of this, and I liked it so much I actually want to put it in this video. This guy said, with emotions, there should have been afraid, which would happen when lowest percent in stamina or really close to edge in normal. Afraid would, increase 50% of speed and decrease 70% of attack. Stressed out, which is another phase, is 100% of speed, all attacks replaced by defensive moves, and if it happens to be the percent over 250 or stamina 5. Yeah. Okay, I like this idea so much. The reason why I'm not putting it really into this moveset, even though I kind of am, is because it's already a little too much. I mean, we already have all these emotions, it'll just be confusing afterwards. Anyways, now we finally got the gimmicks done. Let's get into the basics. Now, just to clarify things. How will Basil be? I'm sorry. We're not getting into that. Which alternate costume are we going to use today? We have the Headspace Basil, and then we have the real world Basil. For now, we're going to use the normal Basil. Now, also, how is Basil going to attack? We haven't seen too much, except for that new console update as we've seen, but that really isn't too helpful, is it? Now, just so you know, Basil will actually have a stick, because sticks are plants, and why not? It works, doesn't it? Anyways, for his jab, we can have him do a right hook swing with the stick, then an up to down slash, and then ends the move with a poke. This is similar to one of his moves, as we've seen, which is vent. But we also seen his sort of a straightforward poke, so it's also based on his boss battle that he would stab, but he has a knife then, so not really. Now for his dash attack, we have him drop a potted plant, specifically a rose, but once the potted plant drops, it would shatter. The shattered pieces will actually deal a little bit of extra flinching damage. Besides, he'll can use some garden shears. This could be based on the attack, as well, we've seen him use shears in his boss battle, and it's also an item right there. Yeah. Also, did I explain how this works? It's pretty simple. It would just cut foes. Yeah. Anyways, towards up tilt, we're gonna pull out a potted cactus. He pulls it up. This is a great move to juggle foes. His down tilt can, well, go into the sitting position. That's his crouch. But once using the down tilt, he would slowly kick. Like that. This is kind of based on that one animation as we've seen in Omori. Anyways, now for Basil's smash attacks, something would appear and help him out through his battle. And as promised, I will explain who something is. Something is really the form of guilt, and that has been there for Omori and Basil after Omori's death. Really, she's Omori. I mean, Mary. That's in the promotional art. That's unused content. But, dead. Yeah. It's pretty much dead Mary, okay? Anyways, when using any smash attack, Basil will go into the fatal position, which means you will have no idea which smash attack he is going to use. And when I mean you, I mean the foe, okay? The foe. You obviously know because you're controlling it. Anyways, for his side smash, we can have him summon sort of a spiky something like this, obviously dealing a nice amount of damage. This is kind of based on the form of something as we've seen. The up smash, we're gonna summon the true form of something, having them appear like this. It does hit fast, and this actually works almost a lot like the Omori moveset when he summons Hail Mary. Also seen if one of Omori was in Smash. Finally, for his down smash, we have him summon two somethings that spin around him. As well, we've seen multiple forms and multiple types of something. So why not? Anyways, for his neutral air, we have him spin. His side air, we have him do the up to down slash. His back air, we can have something appear, or let's just say something's behind him, having him deal a little bit of poison damage. I forgot to say, almost any attack that something will use, including smashes, would deal a small amount of poison damage. As well, it's a spirit full of guilt. Why not? The up air can pull out an umbrella, that's one hit, and then open the umbrella, having it deal some pretty nice knockback. Also, a nice thing is, if you hold the button or hold A while using the air, he would still have his umbrella. Kind of like an alternate, well, special that works a lot like Peach's up special. This is also based on the umbrella as we've seen in the morning. And finally, for his down air, we got him do a simple spike kick. Obviously, spikes foes. Basil would actually grab by hugging the foe, and he would, well, pummel by squeezing the foe. This is kind of based on a move as we've seen known as comfort. Now, for his side throw, the foe finally had enough of his hugging and pushed himself away. The back throw, we can have Basil spin the foe like a helicopter and throw the foe back. Not forwards, back. More mistakes. Please don't sue me. No one can sue me. Anyways, for Basil's up throw, we got him sheer at the foe without them expecting it. So they end up jumping upwards in surprise. This is based on the move that Basil is able to use called cheer. And for the down throw, we have the foe fall into a hole, specifically something's hole. And then we got them pop out of the hole because something doesn't like that. Alrighty, for Basil's neutral special, grab and pull out his trusty camera. Yes, this move is pretty simple, or not. Now, actually, when Basil uses moves, and if you hold down a neutral special, there'll be some sort of aim right here. Pretty neat, huh? Kind of works like that one assist trophy with the camera. Now, actually, you're able to move this around, but once letting go of the trigger, it'll flash, based on the camera flashing. If you are hitting this flash, it would deal some paralyzing damage to foes. But if you're far away, which you can go a certain amount of distance, then it won't deal as much damage and it won't have that stun effect. Now, trust me, once you know how to get this move right, it can be pretty useful. In fact, I feel like you would deserve a golden trophy. Now, anyways, for Basil's side special, we got him do something known as body slam. It will be actually a simple dash, or one of those side special dash, when he would just quickly run and then does a body slam. For his up special, this is actually kind of interesting. Now, honestly, I had no idea what to do with the up special until I looked at the game again. Trust me, I didn't like it. Originally, the game's like 26 hours long, but I obviously didn't do that again. Not again. Not again. Anyways, as we've seen, when you play as Sunny and you go to his house and look in the mirror, first of all, we see something, but we also see these interesting hairs or hands. Actually, Basil will use that to his advantage and have those hands, or whatever those are, to grab to the nearest ledge, working as some sort of grapple. Also, if used on the ground, it would also grapple a foe above him, if you get the angle right. Finally, for his down special, we can have him use a remedy herb, which is actually a type of medicine which would heal bruises and aches. So this is obviously a type of heal which will heal 10% of damage. Now we got all the specials done, let's get into the final smash. Now, Basil's final smash will actually work very, 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 very similar Peaches. Why? Because I don't feel like having him use his gay attack with more. Okay. Now they will actually work exactly like Peaches and Daisy's attack. Everyone would fall asleep. Some random plants and herbs and food would appear, and Basil can eat them while everyone's asleep. Pretty simple, actually. Anyways, for Basil Alt, we can have his headspace appearance. Yep. The next all can have his far away appearance, or the real world appearance. The next one is also an alternate variation known as Someone. The fourth all can be based on Sunny. The fifth all can be based on Amori. The sixth all can be based on Basil when he's in the dark. seventh one can be the red space appearance. And the eighth one can be an alternate costume based on the promotional art. Now, for his taunts, his first one, Kevin, read a book. His second taunt, Kevin spin around in circles. In his last taunt, we have him offer a foe a flower. But if they don't take it, which he can't, he'll just put it back in his pocket. Now, for its victory animations, we have him take a picture of the victory screen that's facing him. His next victory animation, we have a table appear, while photos that he took would slowly appear. And then finally, his face would appear right there, while the victory scene says, Basil wins! In the final victory animation, can have him blow a dandelion. Except for in this case, Sunny is not here because it's Basil's moveset. And that's it. That's what if Basil from Omori was in Smash. I hope you enjoyed this moveset. And if not, that's on me, I guess. Anyways, if you don't feel like subscribing, if you haven't, then please, instead of doing that, just give the video a like. If you don't feel like doing that, then no cookies for you. If you want to keep track of any of our videos, then please give, or actually just click the ring button, the bell. Anyways, if you want to join our Discord server to communicate with the community that we have, then the link will actually be in the About Us page. Anyways, that's it. What is in Smash? So long, peeps.